Hello, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Man Speak. This is an offshoot to the Heart Warrior series where I'm inviting some of our Heart Warriors back to speak about a topic that's near and dear to their heart, something that specifically is relevant to their path, to give the men and the women watching and further insight into the particular subject. Today's guest is our number 10 Heart Warrior, who is Jote-Prakash Singh, and he is a Kundalini Yoga teacher. And I remember from his episode him saying that Kundalini Yoga saved him from emotional turmoil. So I'm really keen to explore this subject a bit more. And also Jote-Prakash is going to give us, I think, about a 45-minute practical class. So we'll really get an insight into the practical experience of Kundalini Yoga. So enjoy. Jote-Prakash, welcome back. And you're on Man Speak this time.
Thank you.
I'm truly so excited for this because even though I'm a yogi, I've never done Kundalini Yoga, so I'm really excited. And I just want to thank you first up for giving us this opportunity to get this little taste of Kundalini Yoga. So, people can get an insight, experience it, and just see if it resonates for them. And if it does, they can take it further. I thought we might start by, I will suggest people see our number 10 Heart Warrior series where we've got the whole story of Jote-Prakash. But could you give us just a brief insight into your connection with Kundalini Yoga?
Yeah, I first came into contact with Kundalini when I was actually 11 years old because my mum became a Kundalini Yoga teacher. And so I just started, the whole of our home life started to change at that time because mum would be getting up early and chanting all the time and doing her yoga. And I had a sort of childish teenager reservation towards getting involved with the practice. I always thought it was mum's thing and a little bit weird. But over the years, I did little bits and pieces here and there. And then when I was 17, I was offered a free place on Kundalini Yoga teacher training because we were running it at a holistic center that we were running. And I just had this had this polarity within me of this part of me that was no, don't do it. It's going to make you really serious and it's going to be super boring and it's for older people and this thing. But then I don't know, I felt like it was my soul speaking to me, and it was just do it. Just try it out. See how it feels. You got a free place. It's just come into your lap. I was having a gap year and just after college and so I just went for it. I just kind of dived in. And I also said to myself at that time, and I think this is really important for anyone if they do get into Kundalini in any way, is to just give it everything you have, just to really go in with an open mind and an open heart. Because there's some bits and pieces of the training, and there's some things that sort of feel a bit strange or a bit maybe religious in a certain way, and I think we can have a real reservation to that. Even just wearing the turban and stuff, but I was just in that space of I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see how it feels. And then I'll make my decision, and then I'll decide whether, okay, I'm going to try the turban on. I'm going to see how that feels. I'm going to try wearing all white, how does that make me feel? So instead of fully believing everything and just going along with the dogma, which I wouldn't say would be a very positive thing to do, but not also going the other way of just being nah, I'm never going to touch that. Because there's a balance of actually, I'm going to try it out and then I'm going to see, does it resonate? Take it or leave it.
Yeah, and that's really what, ideally we need to do with everything in life, right? Can you give us a brief insight into the origins of Kundalini Yoga and how is it different from other yoga? I will say that I did see a post written by someone the other day that suggested that this was the type of yoga that Jesus used to do. So I don't know if that fits in anywhere, but what can you tell us about that? about the
Yeah,
origin.
there is a lot of like talk about that being a part of Jesus's practice, that Kundalini was a big part of it, and he had a Kundalini awakening, and that's how he got so into the heart-centered compassion that obviously Jesus, what we think of when we think of Jesus, that beautiful forgiveness and humility and compassion. There's a lot of conversation that was part of, because he went to India and did Kundalini Yoga for however many years, and 20 years or something, I think, this whole thing. So the origins, it dates thousands of years back of this like ancient yogic practice, and sometimes it would just be called Kriya Yoga. So before it became Kundalini Yoga, as we know it in the Western world, it was often just known as Kriya Yoga, which would have been taught by gurus to students, and it would have actually been like a practice that would have been offered after they've been practicing other types of yoga for a certain period of time. Like sometimes even 10 years of Hatha yoga would then, the guru would sort of say, well, I feel that you're ready, you've got your nervous system strong enough, you're pretty like balanced in your mind and your body. Now we're going to give you the Kundalini. And it's like, then now we're going to give you the Kriya that's going to really like get things going and really like, boom, give you that powerful atomic cosmic sort of awakening energy. So then that's like this practice that was passed down and passed down and passed down, but it was very much like a secret practice. You'd have to be in the kind of like, you'd have to be a disciple, you'd have to be a student of a guru and like go and practice, and it would be passed down like orally and things. And then in 1969, a guy called Yogi Bhajan, and there's been a lot of controversy that's come up with Yogi Bhajan in the last few years. A lot of stories about things that people will find if they go on the internet, and he had this obviously the shadow playing out in what he was doing, as we've experienced with a lot of different guru type figures, that this power can get so distorted. But what he brought through, that there's no doubt in me that what he taught in terms of the practice has just absolutely transformed my life, and that's a visceral embodied experience of that transformation. So however he was as a person, I know for some people it's been too triggering to actually dissociate what he did as a person and the practice, and they've had to like stop doing Kundalini Yoga for that reason. But for me, I have been able to like just see the practice as its own thing, which feels important as well for me. And it was brought to the West, and it was like Yogi Bhajan was off, like given his teacher said to him, the Western world needs this practice now. Go and make it like modern, so that can be understood by the Western mind. And so in 1969, I came over to America and started teaching Kundalini Yoga, and just really like took all these different like practices and things and stuff from Sikhism and kind of pulled it all together into this quite comprehensive practice that includes movement, meditation, mantra, breath work, the whole sort of spectrum of the 8 limbs of yoga really all come together in this practice. And just made it accessible, like taught it in like quick sort of like 3-minute, you can do 3 minutes and it'll just give you a little shift in your day, or you can do like a full 2.5 hours, and that'll have its benefits. And it's sometimes known as a householder's practice, which is like you're not really supposed to go off and go into the mountains and be a renunciant. It's like, this is a practice you can do with kids, and my mum is a testament to that, because she had four of us boys in the house while she started her yoga training, and she was a single mother, and and she still managed to fit in this practice in and around everything else. So it's like, because 3 minutes can just really just change your consciousness, and it's like, okay, you can, no one can tell me that you can't do 3 minutes, you can't excuse yourself out of 3 minutes of practice a day,
Yeah, that's fascinating. I'm interested in what specifically this has to offer men. And I know it's men and women, but this platform is aimed at encouraging our men to participate or explore these different practices. So what can you speak to men about Kundalini?
Yeah, I mean, like, I used to go to the gym a lot, and I was really like into the gym culture and things when I was younger, and wanting to stay fit and keep healthy and get strong. But it was very much about this, like, how I look externally, and I wanted to get big muscles, and how can I kind of like be sexy and attractive to women, and all this like externalizing what is inherently an internal process of wanting to be healthy and wanting to glow from the inside out. And obviously seeking for external validation. So when I kind of like came into Kundalini, I let all that drop. Like, I stopped the gym for a period. I still like would go to the gym now and enjoy it, but like, it's just not my life doesn't revolve around it so much. And what Kundalini offers me is like, and I think what it would be useful for men, the specifically, is you get the chance to like go hard. You get the chance to have a good workout as part of the practice. It's like I've had some of the most intense workouts of my life doing Kundalini yoga, and I would go to like a hatha yoga class or something, and it's like, okay, I'm getting a good stretch, but I still need to go to the gym. Still need to actually like go and do some, like, I don't know, some martial arts or something to actually get that yang aspect within me fulfilled. So but Kundalini yoga, it's like, I see it as a real spectrum, because you can one day do a really deeply meditative kriya or set, yoga set practice, and then the next day you can give yourself the most intense workout of your life, so it's been a nice way for me to like, one, connect into the yin and the feminine part of me that loves to deeply relax and meditate, and another, to actually give myself that chance to give myself a good workout. But the difference has been that I'm not just giving myself a workout and like burning out, but I'm like also being invited to breathe, also being invited to chant at the same time whilst doing like leg lifts or something like that, and it's like, so you are getting this like, what I always say to people is, don't push yourself so hard that you end up hating the practice.
Yes.
And I used to do this at the gym. I used to push myself so hard that I would dread going to the gym. I would like force myself into it. Whereas with Kundalini, it feels like it's sustainable for me to do every single day, because I get so much from it. I get so much pleasure in the moment and the meditative states of it in the moment. And that's maybe not the case when most people start, because it's usually quite like challenging, and it really starts to chip away at your ego, and and that's another thing for men. It's like your ego will get chipped away at, because you will have to put your legs down, or you'll have to put your arms down at different times and just like fail. It's part of the practice, because some of the things are just basically impossible to do for the length of time that it's set out to do. And it's like, you have to put your arms down, and when you do, you're gonna probably feel like, I mean, this is what I felt, this huge sense of like failure. I've messed it up, and like feeling like my ego just getting destroyed. But over the years, it's just been like, now I can actually let my arms down and rest for a moment and get them back up again and carry on. And that is massive for me as a man, is like, to not feel like I need to be perfect. And it's obviously the same for women as well, right?
That's fascinating. So you've spoken a lot about the physical benefits. What does it do for emotional healing and mental clarity or mental peace?
Yeah. I mean, like, on my third teacher training weekend, I remember doing a kriya called Nabi Kriya, and it's one where you're doing lots of leg lifts and you're lying on your back, and then you're doing double leg lifts, and it's like quite intense on the navel. And I could just feel this, like, because you're putting pressure for a long period of time, you put pressure on certain areas in the body. So it's like, that's what Kundalini is. It's like creating this pressure that starts to chip away at your body and your energetic system like a diamond, just being refined over and over and over again. And then you might take on a career and do it for 40 days. And it's like every day you're chipping away at this one aspect of your whole system. And it's like, when I was doing this Nabi Kriya, I really felt it digging into my belly, into my navel, into my like all this area, my third chakra and stuff. And this is what the practice Nabi Kriya is for. It's activating the third chakra. And what I felt when I was doing this practice was like this huge anger there. Like I could feel, like as I was chipping away, like this huge anger just bubbling and boiling up. So as during this practice in the training that I was doing, like all this just emotion was just like roaring out of me, just like I was screaming and like So I've had a lot of times in the practice when I've just really hit that edge and just been able to have a huge release, and just been like crying, roaring, making sound, and so in terms of managing emotions, it's just been, yeah, I mean, just invaluable for me. Even there's a kriya called Relieve Your Inner Anger, and it's like, it's just like you're slapping on the ground and you're doing like things with the navel, and it's just like, it's something that you can, what I've loved about it as well is like, you're not just sort of like doing like a cathartic release every time you practice. So let's say you take on a kriya like Relieve the Inner Anger, right? And it's like a set of exercises, you take it on for 40 days. After maybe like the first day, you're feeling some anger and you're releasing it, it's great. And maybe like day 7, and this is how it usually goes, you know, like day 7 or 8, it's like, well, I don't actually feel much anger right now. Yeah. Not, you know, I've kind of like beaten quite a lot now, but you're still just doing it, and you're still just like keeping on top of it. It's like maintenance for your emotional body.
And that is so true, because I think that we store unreleased emotions in our body, in our tissues, and eventually they cause disease or stiffness or, you know, like ill health in the body. So yoga is a fascinating way, and especially it sounds like Kundalini yoga, to release those emotions that we haven't released at the time. Well, Jote-Prakash, is there anything else you want to say about the practice? And then we're going to get into an actual demonstration or class. Please take it from here, and I'll pop out while Jote-Prakash is doing it, and I'll come back in at the end. He's estimating between 30 and 45 minutes. If you do want to pause the video and prepare, and so.
Good to take socks off as well. Yeah. Well, we'll do it sitting down today. The whole practice. Yeah, about 30 minutes maybe. And I'm just going to run people through I'm just going to run you through like the kind of practice that I would do if I don't have much time in the morning. So like when I've got time, I'm sometimes doing 2.5 hours of practice on a morning, but this is just going to be like if I've woken up late and I just need 30 minutes before getting on with the day. So we begin every Kundalini yoga class with a mantra, and if you know the mantra, obviously you can chant along. I don't know how well it's going to come through the Zoom, but we'll go for it anyway. Sometimes the Zoom cuts it out a little bit, but it's Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, and we chant it 3 times. So you can bring your hands into prayer if you feel comfortable with that, and just resting the hands at the heart center, closing the eyes down and just taking a deep breath. And letting it go. Taking a deep breath and relax. And then breathe in to chant 3 times. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo Om Namo Gurundev Namo. Om Namo Gurundev Namo. Deep breath in. Hold the breath and squeeze the root lock. So this is the pelvic floor, sex organs and lower abs all squeezing together. And relax. So we're going to begin with the hands on the knees, and we're working up from the base of the spine. So this whole practice is just going to be like a tune-up from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, working through all the chakras just to align your body right now. The first exercise we're going to do is Sufi Grinds. Have your hands on your knees. You're just going to breathe in as you turn your torso to the left and forwards, and breathe out as you come to the right and back. So you're kind of like stirring the bowl of the pelvis with the spoon of the spine. You just keep going around in a circle whilst trying to keep your chin steady and still. All the breath coming in and out through the nose now. And we're just stirring up the Kundalini energy. So it's just this energy that resides at the base of the spine. It's like our creative energy. And it's also the sexual energy. So it's all like one in this sort of, it's our life force. It's that thing that gives life. So as we start to awaken it with this first exercise, as we move through the other exercises, we're going to start to lift it up through the spine. So change in direction. And then just slowing it down and coming back to the center, straightening the spine again and breathing in. After each exercise, we'll do this root lock. So breathe in, hold the breath, and apply the root lock. Pelvic floor, sex organs, lower abs. And this just allows you to contain the energy from the exercise. Exhale, and then just meditate for a moment. So generally, the way it goes is to do the exercise and then deep breath, root lock, and then take a moment of meditation just to integrate and allow the effects to work through the system. So you can have the hands in Gyan Mudra, closing the eyes, focusing at third eye. And then bringing the hands onto the shins. And we're going to do spinal flex. So inhale, spine stretches forwards. Exhale, spine comes back. So you're just flexing the spine, opening the heart as you do so. Inhale forwards, exhale back. We'll do around 26 of each of the exercises. As you do spinal flex, try not to let the chin flop up and down. The chin stays level with the ground, just the spine that's moving. And taking a deep breath, straightening the spine. Root lock. And relax. Just noticing the effects. We're going to do spinal twist. So bring the hands onto the shoulders. Inhale, twist to the left. Exhale, twist to the right. This is an exercise just to open the heart. Deep breath into the middle, holding still. Pull the elbows back, open the heart, hold the breath, root lock. And relax. We're going to do bear grip. So this is a great one as well for releasing anger, like we said about how we can work through emotions with this practice. So you're going to place your left hand facing out from your body, and then the right hand comes over the top, and you just clasp your fingers together. So you're clasping here. I'm going to take a deep breath in. And as you hold the breath, try and pull the hands apart. Exhale. Hold the breath out and pull the hands apart. And then inhale, this time bringing it above the top of the head. So taking this mudra, this hand position, over the top of the head. Again, breathe in and hold the breath. Pull the hands apart. Exhale, hold the breath out. Pull the hands apart. Inhale one last time. Same thing. At the heart center, hold and pull the hands apart. Exhale. Hold out, pull apart, stretch through the heart. Inhale above the crown of the head. Pull. Exhale. Hold out. And really pull the hands apart as hard as you can. And then inhale. Stretch up. And exhale, combing the hands down through the aura in a big arc. And just connecting the hands to the earth. Again, relaxing, feeling the effects. And bringing the hands onto the knees again. We're doing a spinal flex, but this time keep the arms straight and hands on the knees instead of the shins. So what you're going to do with this is bring the flex more up into the deltoids, around the shoulders, around the top of the neck. And breathing in, straighten the spine. Hold and relax. And we're doing shoulder shrugs. So inhale the shoulders up to the ears, exhale back down. Inhale up, hold and squeeze the hands into fists. Exhale and let go. Letting the shoulders relax, have a little shake. Shake off any stagnant energy, any emotion, just shake it off. And then the final exercise for the meditation, just bringing the chin to the chest and then rocking the head left and right. And if it feels good, you don't have to if your neck is sore, but you can just bring the head in a full circle. Inhale as you go back, exhale as you come forwards. Doesn't matter which way you go. Try and let the jaw relax as well. And then changing directions. And then spiraling it into the center, straighten the spine, and relax. So we're going to finish with coming up onto the heels. So sitting up and sitting on the knees. And we finish with like sometimes known as the everything exercise, the everything kriya. It's just like to really tune up all the different bodies, the mental body, the physical body, the emotional body, tune up all the chakras. And we do it with a mantra. So we use Sat Nam, and the word Sat Nam means the truth is my name. The hand position is like so. You're going to clasp your hands together, thumbs are like laying over. It doesn't matter which way you want to go. Sometimes it's said that if you put your right thumb on top, it's the masculine energy that you activate, and the left thumb on top is the feminine energy. So whatever feels best for you in this moment. And then your index fingers, the Jupiter finger is pointing straight up. So both of them fingers are pointing up. We're going to bring that above the top of the head in a moment, and you're going to stretch up. But just to talk through the actual practice. So this is called Sakriya, and it's a great one just to do 3 minutes a day if you want to just keep the Kundalini energy moving and keep that creativity flowing in your life. So you're going to chant Sat Nam. As you chant Sat, you pull the belly in. So it goes like Sat, and you pull the belly and the navel in. And as you chant Nam, you just relax. So it's like Sat Nam. And then we take a moment to pause, and you can have a breath, and then we chant Sat Nam again. So you'll find a nice rhythm that works for you. Or maybe you'll be able to follow on with me. And we'll do 3 minutes of this practice. So we are going to have the hands above the head. If you need to bring your hands down, I recommend just putting them on top of your head and then coming back up again when you can. Okay, taking a moment, and then we're going to breathe in, bring the hands up, clasping above the top of the head, index fingers pointing straight up, and breathe in to begin. Sat Nam, 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 Satnam, 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 Satnam. Deep breath in. And exhale, hold the breath out and keep the hands where they are. And you're going to hold the breath out for as long as you can and pull the belly in. And then inhale, exhale, combing the hands down in a big circle, connecting the fingertips to the earth. Just receive, breathing long and deep, receiving the effects of the exercise, relaxing. And you can either stay sitting upright and meditate for a moment, or bring the head resting into baby pose and just resting for a moment. Forehead on the floor. And then in your own time, coming back up to sitting. Normally you'd rest for twice as long as you do the exercise. So if you do 3 minutes, normally good to give yourself 6 minutes of relaxation, but it's okay for today. So we're just gonna close the practice, finish with another mantra. But first, before we do, just take a moment to sit and meditate. I'm going to invite you to really connect into the Kundalini energy. So what does that mean to you? Your creative energy, your life force energy. Close the eyes and just really try and see if you can feel where your Kundalini energy is in your body right now. Is it stuck? Is it feeling stagnant at the base of the spine? Is it maybe a little bit too much like in your head, like rushing of energy in the head and feeling a bit ungrounded? So as you breathe in, just inviting you to visualize this energy. You might visualize it as light. You might just feel it as a sensation. You might feel it as heat in the body. Everyone has different ways of visualizing this energy. As you inhale, visualize it rising up the spine, at the back. And when you breathe in fully, it's at the crown. And as you exhale, the energy just drops back down, washing over the front of the body, back to the base of the spine. So just continuing in this way, breathing the energy up the back of the spine. And breathing out, letting it wash over, clearing any tension, front of the body. Let's have a few more deep breaths in this position, in this meditation. Letting a gentle smile come onto the lips, relaxing the eyes, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, opening the heart, straightening the spine. And then breathing in and bring the hands into prayer at the chest, the heart center. And we're resting the thumbs into the heart. And we're going to chant another mantra to finish. So we're chanting Sat Nam. And it's a long Sat, short Nam. And this just closes the space and allows for the integration process. So breathing in and breathing out. And then breathing in for Sat Nam 3 times. Sa no sa no. Thank you. Bowing the head in gratitude. Peace. Sat Nam. So there's just a little taste. Kundalini.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Wow, I had no idea. I mean, I feel it's such a good practice for people who maybe aren't as physically able. The only question I have is, are there any variations for men who can't sit cross-legged like that?
You can do almost all of the Kundalini practices in a chair, or I mean, like, sit on a big cushion. Yeah, you can be, because that is the beauty of it as well. Like you say, it is very accessible because you can do all your spinal flexors and stuff. Like, we didn't do much movement with the legs, but there are lots of practices with the legs. But you know, you can still do all this stuff like in a chair, and it's great. It's still just as good.
And I know the arms are an extension of the heart. So to actually raise the arms is giving a heart workout, right? A cardiac workout.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's wonderful, especially for people who, you know, got limited time or limited mobility or don't want to get out there to the gym for whatever reason. You know, and as you said, just that 3-minute practice of the arm raising is enough to start with. And, you know, because I do other forms of yoga, I know that's hard work. You know, it can look relatively easy, but to hold your arms up for 3 minutes, you know, is not easy, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's training. Like, what I really appreciate is, like, it's the stamina that you get from doing the long holds and the kind of like all-round fitness, you know, that comes with this practice. Like, it's like a full body every time. And yeah, like, if I was, you know, because it's not to demean the gym or anything like that, because that has a different, I mean, I love to to do like weights and things. But, you know, if you don't have the weights around, or you don't want to go to the gym, it's like you can just use, it's just all body weight, right? You know, you don't need any equipment really. It's just, you can kind of do it wherever you are. And I do, you know, I'm like, if I'm traveling around at festivals, even in the airport, even wherever I am, you know, I will like find a little corner of the room and just do a little bit of the practice. So
could you just give us a very brief insight into, say, a more advanced exercise that someone, once they built up their fitness, you know, for men that maybe do go to the gym and they want something a bit more physical, just, are you able to do it without the mantras? Just give us a little example, or is that disrespectful?
No, totally. Yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, like, so there's a few kriyas that are specifically designed for men, and it's like stuff like you're even like here like this and holding your feet and like breathing and like squats, or like these are called frogs, so you're on your toes and like fingertips on the floor and you inhale up, exhale down. That's a great one for like transmuting sexual energy. You sometimes doing just squats, and another one that's quite good for if you want a bit more of a proper workout is like coming into downwards dog, lifting one leg and like doing shoulder press ups. What else? I mean, the thing is, like, if you do go to the gym a lot, that's gonna get you straight, because it's like that's activating a totally different muscle in the body. Like, even if you can lift heavy weights, there's this funny story of at one of the yoga festivals, there's a big sort of bodybuilder sat there, and he's behind this sort of 80-year-old woman who's there, and they start the exercise, and the 80-year-old woman lifts her arms up and she's going for it, and she's just there, she's just really relaxed in the posture, and the guy behind, he's like this, and he's like big muscles, but he's like straining and tensing and finding it really difficult, and he's looking at this 8-year-old woman, this old lady, doing it perfectly. So how is she doing that? And it's exactly like that, like, because it's not about like putting a lot of tension into things. You have to relax in order to keep your arms up for a long period of time. You have to totally relax. So that's the challenge. It's like you're in a state of pressure, and it's like, how can you just soften into that? And it's working with the nervous system as well. So it's like, because when you do a long hold, or out here, like sometimes you're doing holds just out to the side and breathing, it's like if you start to shake, that's when it's like your nervous system having a bit of an upgrade, you know. So yeah, there's some things that you'll only get in the gym. Like, you're not gonna like get like a kind of proper like bicep workout, you know.
You know what else I loved? I love that it brings awareness to the body. You know, when you've got to actually focus where you're, you know, where you're holding muscles and where you're breathing, and, you know, you shifted the energy first from the root chakra up to, you know, the upper chest, and just to bring awareness into the body is quite, I think, a new sensation for some people.
Yeah. It's a lot about, I've actually gone into the gym after being into the Kundalini for a while, and then gone back to working out, and it's just a whole different experience now. I don't push myself as hard. I still like give it everything I've got, but I don't like get myself to that point of like hurting myself. It's like I'm using my breath more. I'm like, you know, even doing like, I'm like working with the kind of breathing in and then holding my breath whilst doing exercises, and then at the end, after I finish, like whether it's bicep curls with some dumbbells, it's like then take a breath and hold the root lock just to contain the energy. So I'm like kind of incorporating these yogic techniques into the gym. So it becomes a foundation. This is just how I feel about Kundalini. It's become a foundation for everything else that I practice in my life. So like I've been into free running and breakdancing for a long time, and whilst I had a bit of a period of time off, I've actually kind of come back to getting more into my breakdancing again, after the yoga, it's like I'm just better in every way, in terms of more flexibility, in terms of I'm actually as strong as I've ever been, even just doing Kundalini for like a long time. It's like I'm as strong as I've ever been, and way more flexible, because I can actually now I can actually kick my legs up and stuff, and have much more mobility in my body, and also much more awareness of like mind over matter, and this ability to be able to, you're harnessing the mind muscle, which is like a big aspect of any training, any sports, any dance. It's like, you know, if you believe you can do a move, like that's half the battle.
Yeah. So, you know, men could combine it with other sports that they're totally passionate about, and it'd be complementary.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think the other important thing to mention is that most people aren't aware of how shallowly they breathe. So even just to do that 3-minute exercise, and for 3 minutes a day, be able to fill your lungs completely and breathe deep into the belly is life-changing. Would you agree?
And I would say, yeah, to try and do, like, if I was going to suggest or invite anything for anyone watching this, is to take on, if you like Zach Kriya or whatever it is, but take on a 3-minute exercise and do it for 40 days, because that's how you start to really change a habit and rewire the brain. And take it on 40 days, and like you'll start to like refine it as you go, and you'll start to really understand it. It's like you start to have a relationship with that exercise, and like, oh, okay, I can actually really feel how that's working now. And you kind of get deeper into it. You learn how to chant it more with more clarity. It's just like, make it your friend. Like I see these like Kriyas like my friends now. It's like, I can, if I've done a 40-day of it, I've got to know it quite well, and then I come back and do it a few years later or whatever, and it's like, it's just like, this is just sometimes there's a Kriya that's been there for me in really difficult times, and I've been doing it for 40 days, and it's like sort of seen me through really difficult time in my life. And it's like I come back to that Kriya, and it's like just so much gratitude for it. It feels like it's its own entity, and it's just like you're just getting a chance to sit and be in it and be with it, and receive the effects and receive the benefits of it all.
Yeah. Amazing. So where would someone start looking if they wanted more information? Are there free resources online, or for someone who maybe doesn't have access to a physical class? What resources can you suggest?
I mean, there's going to be quite a lot. I've got a couple up on my YouTube account, which is maybe you can link it in the notes.
Sure. Definitely.
I believe I'm called the Creativity Wizard, or Jote-Prakash Singh. One of those is like,
I'll get the link from you, and I'll definitely put it underneath. Yeah. Oh, great.
I've got a couple of full like classes on there and a few little meditations, but we're also, if people are interested in Kundalini, we've got an app out now. So I've been devising an app that's like I've already uploaded quite a lot of stuff on there. It's called RDS Village.
Okay.
Rising Dawn Sanctuary Village. It's like yeah, it's going to be stuff for free. I'm also going to be running like a premium plan as well, where I'll be teaching live classes. So if people want to pay a little bit each month, they can get live classes with me, because that's the best way of learning. You know, I'm still going to classes with my mum and other teachers and stuff, and like the effect that you get from just being in a class and hearing, listening to a teacher. It doesn't really matter who, in a way, because it's like they're just bringing forward the teachings for you, and just like, yeah, being in the group energy, nothing beats that. So that's in my experience.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, I'll drop all those links down below to your app. And I know you did mention that actually in your Heart Warrior series, but I'd totally forgotten. So, and great. I didn't even realize you had a YouTube channel to be able to offer all these amazing resources. Anything else that we haven't covered, Jote-Prakash, that you feel is important to say about Kundalini?
No, just try and be consistent, you know, try and stay committed. to it for a long period for a good period of time, because and stay open, because if you just do it like 3 times and then you kind of decide that it's not for you, you know, you might not have actually scratched the surface of what it could offer you, because the ego doesn't want to be dismantled, right? There's a part of us that isn't going to want to be dismantled and be there's even an exercise called ego eradicator. It's like the ego doesn't want to be eradicated. It's going to fight back. It's going to give you a million reasons as to why you can't fit it in, as to why you don't need it, as to why it's like too much this, or too religious, or too this, or too that. You'll find a reason why not to do it. So just invite you to try and find 100 reasons as to why you should do it, and just meet the practice where you are. And commitment, you know, like I've been going 6 years now with this, and the commitment has seen me through, and it just keeps deepening and deepening and deepening. It's like a bottomless well of amazing practices, and there's so much that I haven't even touched the surface of, like in terms of the different, there's kriyas that I haven't done, there's so many different meditations that I've never actually tried, there's different, like in terms of the philosophy as well. It is like it's the one thing I'll say, and I'll leave it on this, is it's not just a yoga practice. It's truly is like, this could be a way of life. This can be like a whole transformational on every level. And that it happened for me. It was like I didn't even try and give up all these addictions and stuff I had running. I didn't even try and like stop smoking weed. I didn't even try and stop drinking alcohol. I didn't even try and give up sugar and stuff, or other things that weren't serving me. I just kind of found Kundalini, devoted myself to the practice, and all those things, like over the years, they just fell away, because it was like this Kundalini was just like this energy of vibrating on a different frequency and changing the cellular system in the body. So it's vibrating on a different frequency, and all that other stuff that was just not like congruent with that centeredness that it was offering me fell away.
Yes.
And it's working in and through the body. Like you said, you can talk about your issues all you want, and it's good to talk about stuff, obviously, but that's only, like, as far as I'm concerned, it's 30% of it's 30% of the game, you know, of talking about things. But the other part is just, you've got to start working with the body, clearing the trauma in the body, and that's what Kundalini offers me.
And I totally agree with that. I mean, I do the Bikram. I am actually going to start doing the Kundalini with your website and your app, but I'll just verify that. After my first Bikram yoga class, I stopped smoking. And over the next few years, I stopped drinking totally. I've been doing it 20 years now. So that was 20 years ago. But over, say, the last, I probably haven't had a drink for about 3 years now, just slowly, it just got less and less till it was 2 drinks a year, 1 drink a year, and now. But so totally agree. It does. It naturally unaligns you and rises your frequency, so you no longer align with those, let's say, toxic habits and behaviors.
Just stop needing it, right? Because, like, if I'm high as a kite, if I'm absolutely high and buzzing from this practice, is what it can offer you. Not to say that you get ungrounded, but it can give you that buzz of life and aliveness in the body. Why would I smoke? Why would I smoke weed? I used to smoke weed in order to get that sense of aliveness. Sometimes I'd get it, sometimes I'd just mong out, you know. Sometimes I'd just be like, oh, and I wouldn't feel much at all. But that's why I did it. I did it because I wanted to connect. If you're already connected, it's just like, well, I have no need for that substance anymore.
Yeah, because your body's got all this healthy energy running through it, and you've got no blocks. And it is really a natural high. Amazing. Wow, I loved this show. Thank you so much for your time and your wisdom and your practice. I really think, you know, you've given people such a beautiful insight into Kundalini, and I honor you for that. Thank you so much, Jote-Prakash.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for your questions and your openness, and thanks for letting me come share this thing that I feel so passionate about. Maybe you can tell I just feel so passionate about this practice. So it's been a game changer.
You got me passionate to try it, so I can't wait.
Great. I look forward to maybe practicing and doing some. All right. Peace.
All right. Bye, everyone. And we'll
See
be back
you.
in a few days with another episode of Man Speak. You could like and share and subscribe, and of course check out Jote-Prakash's YouTube channel and his app. Namaste.
Blessing.
Oh, down here. No, up here.